A big part of Frank's architectural concept was big lumps of timber. Gehry's wanted to have this kind of random and chaotic arrangement of hangars, a kind of concept sketch in built form.
I saw this jumble of steel and timber and glass, and the first thoughts were, how the hell am I going to build it?
We were brought on board in February. Gehry's had been thinking about it for a few weeks already, but not for very long.
We literally were signed up to do this project about 2 weeks before we actually started on site. Steel procurement alone, there's normally 20 weeks at least lead-in time for the procurement, and in that 20 weeks we actually built the job.
The first lift of the goalpost was a scary one, just because it was the first big lift on the project.
We couldn't put the crane where we wanted. In the end though, we actually did put the crane right outside of the Serpentine Gallery main entrance.
It's always a nervous moment to know whether it's going to fit on its basis, and because there was very little tolerance there and it was a very heavy bit of kit, that was a tense moment. The geometry is so complex, and there are 7 or 8 hangers for each canopy, and the risk of one of those hangers not connecting to its housing is always something that we're worried about. Going into it, having done the design, you're 99% confident it's not going to move by more than X number of millimetres, but until they actually put it in and take the crane away, you really don't know whether it's going to behave the way you want it to. Acoustics was something we knew right from the outset was going to be important to the design.
I got this call that morning. I was already busy. I said, yes, I can do it. And they told me it should be done in a short time. We need the answer by the next week. I said, it's fine.
So it was more or less a case of analysing the envelope, you know, as it had been designed, just to see how well or how bad that could work, and if it wasn't working very well, to think of other things that you could layer on top of that to help improve the acoustic performance.
It worked really well because the architecture solution helps the acoustics to work, and they work at the same time both together, and is what should happen every time.
The way Gehry likes to light his buildings is very much lighting focused on the inside, such that at night time the building glows.
This idea of a glowing lantern works out on its own. When the pavilion is empty, you have a static glow. But the magic part of it, the beauty of it, is when the people move around, it actually would create a subtle shadow that's a flicker. And it's just start to give it life within the park, within the space, and that's what we're hoping for.
You know, it's testament to Gehry kind of thinking ahead, really, of all of these problems, that together we approached all those things early in the design, and conceptually at least solved how to do all those things before it was too late. Who agrees to follow this as an act? I mean, you know, where do you go from Gehry in a way?